What's up, Aries? How are ya? This is your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and Jupiter, and Mercury. Reading for December 2025. Love, Aries. I was just thinking about Joan Crawford and Bette Davis. My mom always told me about them. But, you know, top tier competitive actresses from the studio era. And that they're both Aries, and they had both been kind of on the decline as they got older. And this was back in the day. Probably like 50s, 60s. Yeah, when they made this movie. But they made a movie together called Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, where they have to play siblings, and they literally just tortured each other the whole time. And that is what came to me for Aries, only because it's that quick fire. Mars rules iron, and that's one of the highest oxidizing metals. So there's just that like quick to that red energy. Y'all know I was reading the alchemy book, but they're quick to that fire, and it's entertaining for them to go kind of back and forth. But they're thinking on the short term and not the long term. So they love not necessarily to argue, but they just love to feed the fire. And the ram, it doesn't anticipate the consequences of the ascent. You know, after bumping heads to get there, the ram underestimates the consequences of the ascent. But yeah, Joan Crawford and Bette Davis. Joan Crawford, when I look her up, Bing says she's born 190 AD. I'm like, did Bette Davis change the internet so that it looks like she was born when Christ was born? Because that's crazy. Unless I don't know what 190 AD means, that's crazy. And Bette Davis is born April 5th, 1908. So both Aries on either side, either month. But yeah, it's just that short thought, egoic energy. And Aries, I mean, lovely people. And again, anyone can have Aries in their chart. Aries will rule one part of your chart, one of the 12 houses. But it's such a beautiful childlike energy. That's the other thing I was gonna say. It's very childlike and kid and baby, which can be good, but you know, kids can be stubborn, and they can be, you know, just like they're kids. They're emotionally unfair, they're stubborn, they can be inconvenient because they're using, I mean, they're using their own form of logic, but it's a logic that's far different from ours. And that's similar to Aries. They have their own logic based in their kind of childlike mind. And it's a good, I mean, they can channel it into whatever they would like, but that's our Aries. Careful of conflict for conflict's sake. Okay, well, this is your current love situation, and then we'll do new love, career, money, and luck, now that we know a little bit about the dolls. But our Eight of Wands reversed, you're holding on to something that maybe you either wish you weren't, or I don't know, you feel I don't want to say overcommitted, but you have a hard time being pinned down, Aries. So even though it's enjoyable to be in this connection, there's an antsiness to good old-fashioned commitment. And this is not because the connection is bad, but because Aries likes consistency, but not necessarily commitment. So the weight right now of commitments are kind of, they're holding you to a certain position in this relationship. The weight of just being committed at all. And it's hitting you like, okay, I'm going through the actual responsibilities of being in this connection. and you can't, literally, 8 of Wands this way, it's like you want to go. So this is like, well, I'm exiting, but I need to stay here. It's a constriction of your freedom, but that's how really any commitment feels. And this little card from the Thoth deck, yeah, there's something about incompletion. I didn't even use it, but the Thoth deck card came into the Modern Witch deck. When I was shuffling, I just found it. So that's a part of the reading for sure. There's a feeling of incompleteness. You're kind of in something that you don't feel complete in. And that's Venus in Aries. So that speaks directly to this situation. Upside down. And when it's right side up in the Rider-Waite deck, that's like, you know, it's the marriage card. So upside down, there's that, I talked about it before in one of the readings, but there's the like, what now energy. Sorry, y'all. Sentence. It's the what now energy. And it's the, sometimes it's the guilt of getting what you want. I know that's probably a very specific situation for somebody, but the fire energy's here with all the wands. What else do we have for Aries in the current love situation? What happens next? What happens next for Aries in the current love situation? Okay. Well, doing the work. You're gonna want to work on it. Maybe against your better judgment. When you kind of want to bounce. I don't know what it is about this situation, Aries, but you're not seeing things fully clearly with the Judgment in reverse. You're not allowing yourself to see certain things. Yeah, it's just that lack of judgment. And that's, I mean, still though, that's a December of working on it. I'm sorry, y'all. I think that this is, I always sit on my foot. This is an interesting reading because Aries energy likes to have movement, and there's just a restriction of movement energy here. But Aries is still willing to do the work. You're still committed and willing to do the work. Even if, I don't know if there's a third party or any energy, Cancer energy in there, but you're gonna want to work on it. And I think that can, in a lot of ways, that's good for Aries, because always abandoning what they start. Sagittarius too can do this sometimes, and it's not just the sun sign or moon sign. It can be any area of your life that's ruled by those things. It can be a short burst and then maybe you give up. So wanting to do the work is good for Aries, but you just have to make sure you're wanting to do the work for the right thing, and use your better judgment. Okay, the horn agrees. Use your better judgment. Beep, beep. This card reminds me of the Luxor in Las Vegas with those little sphinxes. Yeah, Aries, it's a good thing. It's noble to want to do the work, but you got to make sure that you're wanting to do the work for the right thing, because you're feeling incomplete, but it might not be anything that you can do differently. And acting against your better judgment in the situation is not going to lead where you want it to. Okay? Okay. What's the outcome? What's the outcome for Aries? Okay, interesting. Healing. Very good. Very good. Even some of y'all rehab, or you know someone going to rehab, but the outcome is healing. So you're going to heal from whatever you need to. It's literally the antithesis of this, okay? But that comes with the hard work and the lessons. So don't worry. You will be healed. But that's gonna take allowing your love to flow through. Something's kind of constricted in the relationship. Okay? And you need to, you see these cups? The flow kind of has to be restored. But keep working on it, Aries. It's noble of you. You don't want to quit. And I think that's good. You don't want to quit. Something's keeping you where you're at. And you want to, maybe you like feel like you need to take a little joyride, but at the same time you don't want to quit. And that can be good. But you know, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away. Come on. New love. New love and true love for Miss Aries and Mr. Aries. And they, them Aries. Someone's holding their feelings back for you. Someone in your circle has a crush on you, but they don't want to tell you. Of course. Aries has that magnetic energy because it's just, there's a lot of raw emotion there. And that's why, and we won't go back to the old love situation. I won't even hold up that card. But the raw emotion is what draws people to the Aries energy. So that's new love. Someone wants to tell you, but they're too afraid. They won't. What else can we talk about for new love? Who's the person that likes Aries but doesn't want to tell them? Okay. Oh, it can be someone literally near you going through a loss, or just the someone that's like, I don't want to say the sad case, but it's like someone who you know is the kind of the sad case. They have feelings for you. Big feelings. They're very reserved, kind of melancholic. And the World card, they're international. They're from somewhere else. That's so funny. And this, keep in mind, again, this could be in your Aries house. So if you have an Aries 7th house or whatever, this could be for you too. But yeah, this is someone you know. They have that kind of downtrodden energy. Maybe this person might be a Brit, actually, who's very, very, very reserved with themselves. And yeah, they're from somewhere else, though. They're from somewhere else, and you either have traveled or will travel with them. I like that. The new love energy is cute. But I mean, I don't know if they're going to tell you, though. I don't know if they're going to tell you. Will this person tell Aries about their feelings? I feel like it's the magic conch from SpongeBob. Will I ever get married? No. Will this person tell Aries about their feelings? And this is this month, y'all, keep in mind. So, will this person... Ooh. It looks like they do. It's not going to be as scary as they thought with the Ten of Swords in reverse. But, I mean, right now, around now is when they're making the choice, but they're going to charge forward and do it. So they're going to tell you maybe this month. And, I mean, it doesn't, there are factors maybe that might make it harder to act on. But they'll definitely let you know. Maybe even indirectly, but they're gonna let you know. And this month. And y'all know who this is. Who's Eeyore? Who's Eeyore? He has a crush on you and he's about to tell you. Who's this? Who has this tattoo? They like you. And you like them too, but don't let them down easy. Because you know it's always the sad ones. Crazy. But let them down easy if you don't like them. And if you do, I have a feeling this is someone that you might like. Or maybe you hadn't considered it until you realized they had a crush on you. But this. Yeah, you kind of like them. You don't know. You might have to choose between them and somebody else, but you do like them, and they are going to come forward with how they feel, okay? So fun month. We'll see who comes in December. Y'all know December, I mean, if you're around Christmas stuff, or really, I don't know, there's just like chocolates and stuff everywhere. Even where they don't celebrate Christmas, is there December? I don't know. Every culture has like a December equivalent of gifty giving and celebration of a magical man. But it's a good December and good time to meet new people. Good time to, everything happens under twinkly lights, like it's a little Hallmark movie. So cute time to be confessed love to, I'd say. What do we have for money and career for the Aries in our December? Oh, okay. Some of y'all will get remote work, begin working freelance remote or some other kind of long distance cash. You're doing something where it's almost like you see her glancing into this cup. I think of her speaking into that cup. So you're doing something that's earning you money from one place, maybe with your voice or something else. Some of y'all recording studio, some of y'all just any, you know, some of you phone sex hookers, really anything where you're using your voice. Anything where you're using your voice and earning money from far away. Someone wants to, you're gonna have to choose between a gig that's kind of emotionally fulfilling and doesn't show a gig that's emotionally fulfilling and shows your gifts, and something that doesn't show your gifts at all, but maybe pays well. Because there's a whole story between the emotion versus the logic and the reason and the cash. And I don't know, it might be between two different gigs. It might be between just two different ways you can spend your energy, but there's gonna be some sort of like passion versus money split for you this month. And just cutting out your old job. Yeah, you want to cut something out. You want to trim something out. I don't know why that's coming through for everybody. Maybe because everyone's overcommitted to stuff. But it's not really working. Could also be a water sign person with an opportunity for you. What else do we have for our money and career for Aries? Don't get trapped. Don't get trapped. Earning money in ways that don't resonate with you. And don't get trapped in the same schedule, in the same old, same old. You need to kind of shake it up because because Aries likes to change it up, sometimes any measure of consistency can become a vice because it's like you don't like or care about the thing, you're just doing it because you're doing it. It's consistent, it's something to grab onto, but you might have outgrown it and you're kind of emotionally maturing past doing that, and now it's time to use your gifts, and not just like not the survival gifts, but you know what it is you need to drop, some type of vice. And when you do, money will flow to you very, very easily with that Page of Pentacles. But you just kind of have to drop the devil's way of earning. Drop the devil. What do we have for luck? Luck for the Aries. Oh, some of y'all are gonna get a pet. And some of y'all, I don't know why this keeps coming out, but for some of y'all, pregnancy. A little pet or pregnancy. Or with this coin too, just like a little bonus, free gift. A lot of y'all will get gifted beauty things for the holiday. But we'll close it there, Aries. I'll see you maybe for a personal reading. Thank you for watching me. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.